everybody, I'm Alyce-Kay from SufferingWell, and I just wanted to get on here and share with you in a little bit more detail what we are going to be offering you over Triduum and Easter weekend. Okay, so when I say Triduum, that's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and we'll talk about details of that and what you can see in a Catholic church at that time in a separate video. But for now, I wanted to share with you what you're going to find here, partly to tease your interest, but mostly so that you have an idea of how much time it will take so that you can set that time aside. This is going to be a time of really pressing into Jesus and celebrating his resurrection as well as commemorating his death. In many ways, you can look at it as kind of a retreat where you're just focusing on Jesus' passion, his cross, and his resurrection. We're offering, as usual, the Bible readings from each day's Mass. If you want to make it into more of a retreat, if we're not already offering enough for you to consider it a retreat and you have time, go ahead and look at the community posts because we have prayers for each day. We have links to music for that day, and we oftentimes have different kinds of meditations and such for that day as well. We'll also have a video each day of Triduum, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I think also Wednesday, describing what happens at the Mass that particular night, because it's really a big deal. It's really, really special. And again, if I haven't already said so, and I will say that in some of the videos, if you're a Protestant, I encourage you to go to those. They will be so meaningful to you. You won't be able to receive communion, but you can go up, cross your arms like this. The priest will bless you, or just stay back in your pew if you want to. But the whole thing will just be beautiful and incredibly, incredibly meaningful. So I want to share with you what we have for you this week. And at the end of this video, I will list all the dates and how long each video is that we're sharing with you so that you can have an idea and kind of plan ahead and say, okay, rather than just my 6 minutes listening to the scripture reading today, I'm going to spend an hour doing all this. But I really think that it will pay off for you. It will just help you to press into Jesus and to really focus on him. These are things that you might want to do with your family. If you're living alone, just spend that time with your guardian angel. Okay, it'll be really, really special. Okay, so I want to start out on April 17th, and that is Thursday. That's what we call Maundy Thursday. And that's the day that Jesus had his Passover, his Last Supper with his disciples. He instituted the Eucharist, communion, the Lord's Supper, depending on what your particular denomination calls it. And also he washed his disciples' feet. So we have two Mass readings for that. We have, and by Mass readings, I mean the scriptures from the Mass. So those are appropriate for Catholics or Protestants. They're going to be the scriptures that you're going to hear at Mass, and it's a really good idea to listen to those before going to Mass or to read them before going to Mass so that you're already familiar with them when you hear them in the context of the Mass. But if you don't go to Mass, it's still really, really good to listen to the scriptures. Anytime you listen to the scriptures, that's good, right? So we have two different Mass videos for that. We have just the regular Mass readings, which will be the foot washing and Jesus instituting the Eucharist. Okay, we also have the Chrism Mass readings. Now, some churches will have that a different day of the week. That is the day that the priests, and this is definitely Catholic, but the scriptures are still appropriate for Catholics or Protestants, but just that you have an idea. The priests all renew their vows, their priestly vows on that day at the Chrism Mass. It's at the cathedral. And they also receive their holy oils for that year. So there's things about the oils in the readings and stuff. So that is going to be kind of an optional reading, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And it would be a great time for you to be praying for your priest, or if you're Protestant, to pray for your pastor. Okay, then on Good Friday, we have a lot for Good Friday. First of all, the mass reading is a lot longer. It's, usually it's about 5 or 6 minutes. For Thursday, for Maundy Thursday, it's 8.5 minutes, and then you've got the 6-minute Chrism Mass readings. Okay, on Good Friday, the scripture readings for Mass are 23 minutes long. So obviously there's a lot. This is a very, very important day. So there's a lot of scripture to read for that day. And then we have 3 original stories that we've written through SufferingWell. We've written for you to help give you different perspectives on the crucifixion. So we have, first of all, a story called From Afar. And that is just about, it's from the point of view of a random woman in Jerusalem. And the reason that we chose to just make that a random woman instead of choosing Mary Magdalene or somebody else is because we feel like it's more relatable if it's just somebody who doesn't even have a name. But how did she see this? And what led her to believe? Then we have a story from John the Apostle, the beloved disciple, and from his point of view, the crucifixion. We also have one about Mary. It's not from her point of view, but it's about her and how she stood at the foot of the cross and what that means, how that can impact us. And it's beautiful. And so David and I each read one of those, and then the one about Mary we read together. On Saturday, okay, Saturday is a really, really long Mass. If you go to the Mass on Saturday, it starts at sunset. And I'm not going to describe it all here because I'm going to do that in a separate video. But that to me is like my favorite Mass of the entire year. It is the most beautiful, beautiful service of the entire year. Saturday is the Easter Vigil. So I'm not going to go into detail about it here, but let's just say it goes through the entire story of redemption. And that's what is happening in the Mass readings, the scripture readings for that day. So because there are so many scripture readings, we divided it into 8 videos. Okay. Some of them are a little bit longer than our usual Mass readings. Some of them are a little shorter, but it probably equals about 40 or 45 minutes. I'll have it listed at the end. I haven't added it up yet, but there are 8 different videos. You can listen to those all at one time if you want, or you can divide them up to go throughout your day to get ready for going to the Easter Vigil, or if you're not going to be able to make it, be able to listen to that instead. Then we have a special story that's about 15 minutes long that David and I read. This is an original SufferingWell story, and it's from the point of view of that random woman in Jerusalem and the Apostle John. And they each tell their stories of the resurrection and how it impacted them and what they saw, what they've heard, what they felt. And I think it's just really beautiful, and I think that it will really inspire you. And of course, we also have that's on Easter Sunday. I'm sorry, I think I said it was Saturday. It's on Easter Sunday. And then we also have, that's called At the Rising of the Light. Then we also have the Easter Sunday Mass readings, which you should probably read before you listen to the story, because really the scripture readings are the most important thing. So please make sure that you do that. So those are actually pretty normal length of time. They're 7 minutes. So it's a normal Sunday amount of reading. We have, if you do the readings from the community post that we always have, we have several songs listed with links after the reading that we think will really inspire you and help you to get into just the whole spirit of the resurrection. And I think that they also give you different perspectives and understandings of how that affects us. I think it's just beautiful. Oh, going back to Saturday, in the community post, we will also have a link to an oratorio, which I believe is like an hour long or something. It might be longer. That'll be in the list at the end. And it's probably my favorite oratorio. It's actually a modern one. I think it was written in the 1990s. And just it's fantastic. It really is. It's just very, very beautiful. It's not like rock or something like that, but it is modern and it's very beautiful and very, very worshipful. So that's for Saturday also. Just plan to spend all day with us on Saturday. We have a lot. Um, so, so those are the things that we have planned here at Suffering Well. And in another video, I'll tell you about what you can expect to find at a Catholic church. If you're not Catholic, you're welcome to go to those. The masses during Triduum, and actually some of them aren't, I guess it's technically the mass goes from Thursday to Saturday, I think. Um, you are welcome to come to that. If you're a Protestant, then you can't receive communion, but you can go up and be blessed, and you'll just get so much out of the entire Mass. It's just really, really beautiful. And the first time I went, obviously, I wasn't Catholic, and I was so touched and so blessed by it. So I hope that you will go to that. So join me in the next video for what happens during Triduum. All right, I love you all, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.